go. Any minute. Revs are building up.
Just creeping Cranston, but he gets away. They're away. And it is Cranston leading the way down the bypass. Look at the size of the field and them all go.
You can see the shadows now. There maybe is a bit of sun in your eyes as they're getting on the brakes here as they go down to that first corner at Ballachagan. Cranston got a good lead there, hasn't he?
Really good
wow,
jump
what a
start
start he
by
got
him.
there.
He was creeping just a little bit at the start. Hopefully they'll let him away with that. But it was Cranston on the Honda from Dennis Booth on the Kawasaki. Then in third place at the moment is Mark Jackson. So it's as we had the front three on that opening lap of the first run, so are the front three in this second one. And behind them, we've got Tom Snow, who's come from sixth place on the grid to take into fourth as they go into Iron Gate for the first time. Cranston then, as you said, Steve, just taking a little bit of an advantage here on the way up to Ballabeg. They'll be keen to close them down as quick as possible if they can.
That's some lead to have on just quarter of the way around the circuit, or around the course. So we really did get away. Did creep a little bit there. I don't think there's any grid penalties here for not quite like it is in MotoGP or World Superbikes, where if you move a quarter of an inch, you get a long lap penalty. Where would a long lap penalty here be? Down to the square and back.
Into the George, into the pub. Yeah. Andrew Ripley there on the Honda from Road Heath, just taking a bit of a tight line through Ballabeg Hairpin, but the rest of them much more restrained this time round out through Ballabeg Hairpin as we get this opening lap coming out through Williams and into Billown Dip, and then it'll be the run up to Cross Four Ways and the next big braking zone on this Southern 100, the 4.25 mile course. Cranston's got a fantastic lead here from Booth.
It has. Pass going on there, number 54.
That's John Marsh.
Yeah.
Trying to get up the inside of, I think it was 27, maybe Tom Snow it was, so that'll be in the battle for fourth or fifth place, perhaps. That's great stuff by Marsh, who is a newcomer here, the Trawden rider. He's on the MKM Building Supplies Honda on a CBR 600. Listen to these sounds.
Yeah, oh, absolutely wringing their necks.
Oh, glorious sound. Fantastic. As the lead front end then make their way into Castletown Corner and away through, and we'll get a proper idea of the leaderboard. It should be Cranston, Booth, Jackson, and then possibly Marsh from Snow. Away we go.
Yep, over the line. Cranston, Booth, Jackson is in third, Marsh fourth, you were right, Tom Snow, Michael Bampton.
And Rod Hughes in seventh. Craig Shapek, another of the newcomers here, is in eighth. Kieran Brocky in ninth. And Bailey Harker, another newcomer rounding out the top 10. You've said, great to see so many newcomers. They're impressing here. This is their race. Essentially, this is their chances. Oh, there's some wild lines being taken on the run into Ballachagan there.
This is kind of the feeder class, isn't it? We say it's the B final, but a lot of the newcomers are obviously going to be in this, and it's their chance to get better, learn the course, meet all the people here, and come back and race here for many, many years.
And it gives them a chance, rather than sitting in a second wave as they might elsewhere. They've got their own race.
Yeah,
they've got something to really go for.
Sure.
Cranston then leading by almost a second. As in fact, it looks a bit like Booth has maybe closed in just a little bit there on the run up to Ballabeg. Then Jackson, and then Marsh, Tom Snow, as the rest make their way through.
A lovely little battle with orange jackets here.
They'll all have tales to tell of the first race they ran at the Southern 100 in the newcomer jackets, and that they were in a right scrap while they were doing it. We're out on lap 2 of 6 of the JCK 600B race. Cranston's just getting the wheel down a bit more now. He's just opened up that gap a little bit over Dennis Booth as they come out over the top.
Spectacular place to watch from there.
Yeah, I've had the joy of watching there on Championship Day a few years ago. It is an unbelievable place to watch.
Isn't the White House there belonging to someone that got involved with the racing here years ago, I was told?
The farm there, Roy Gelling's farm, very much so involved, and they put on an amazing show for people who come down for the race day. You put your few quid in the bucket and they raise money for the club and for charity, and then they put on a great spread. It's a fantastic day out down there, it really is. But back up at the front, it's Paul Cranston leading from Dennis Booth with Mark Jackson in third. They're now on the run down towards Stadium out through Great Meadow, then down to Stadium at the end of lap 2 of 6. This battle's going on all the way through the field here. Oh boy, absolutely fantastic racing. Next gang will come through. Oof, bam, bam, bam. We'll get to the end of lap 2 very shortly, and we'll get an update on the times.
I think Cranston has pulled out a bit of an advantage.
18 there is Michael Bampton in 6th place.
Not that much though. It's 2 seconds.
Then
1 point. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It's 1 point. Yeah, 1 second exactly that Cranston has over Dennis Booth.
Newcomer John Marsh going really, really well here in the top 3 on the Honda. And ahead of Mark Jackson and Tom Snow, Michael Bampton, then Rad Hughes, Bailey Harker, another of the newcomers. He moves up to 8th, so he's taken Craig Chapek, who drops down to 9th, and Kieran Brockie in 10th. Then Daniel Pearson, another newcomer, in 11th. Damien Crook in 12th as they stream across the line at the end of lap 2. 13th for Roddy Taylor, 14th for Dan Sale on the 250. He's overhauled Aaron Hands to move up to 14th from 15th. Then Blake Kelly. Matty Rostron is in 17th, having just been out in the sidecar race, passengering in that. In 18th there, Adam Williams. Then Andy Ripley is 19th, and Austin Webster rounding out the top 20 at the moment. As we see John Marsh, the newcomer, come into Ballabeg. He looks very neat and tidy.
He does. In fact, I've been looking at all these guys. No one looks wild out there at all. They look like having some great racing and like they've done their homework. It's particularly the newcomers.
Kieran Brookie there, 35, just taking that inside line into Ballabeg. That does cost you a little bit just on the apex then as you come out through the corner. Cranston then is out front. And we were saying earlier, weren't we? Cranston's been racing since the early 1980s. It's astonishing longevity for the Dungannon man. 40 plus years, absolutely amazing.
It is extraordinary, isn't it?
And still out front in these races. And at Tandragee, holding his own in the top 6 up against the big names.
I'm just looking, 230s, 233s. Where does that put you into the front guys? It must be reasonably well up.
Yeah, 224s, I think, was it? 223s, yeah, maybe 4.
Yeah. So
Kieran Brockie there, and Dan Sale, I think, maybe getting involved as well there, bike 8, as they come up through. Dan on the Yamaha. On lap 3, about to hit half race distance. Great that we've been able to rerun this race and give everybody a race on the opening night at the Southern 100.
Because I think we had one extra race tonight, didn't we? As one was called off.
Yeah, we had some rain last night. You wouldn't know it looking at the conditions tonight. It's been absolutely amazing. So Cranston then from Booth, still that second, or well, maybe half a second now. Booth is maybe closing in a little bit.
I think he is. Well, maybe Mr. Cranston, he's getting on a bit. Maybe he's getting a bit tired.
It's Booth who is quickest. That's the quickest lap of the race, a 2:32.1. The lap record is by Michael Russell from 2022 at 2:27, so we are 4-5 seconds off that pace at the moment. But Michael Russell should never have been in a B race, that's for sure.
No, well, he's a great classic racer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Often wins at Goodwood.
He does, indeed. He often gets himself... Is it Michael Rutter he rides with?
He does, yeah. He won't be this year, though, because Michael's injured, obviously.
Obviously, yes, coming out of the TT. And if you're tuned in, Michael, wishing you all the very best as well after that spill at the TT. So Cranston has got Booth for company here then, out on lap 4 of 6.
Michael Rutter's probably sat in his deck chair drinking a pint of Batham's.
John Marsh still looking very composed, holding on to that 3rd place and holding on to it quite nicely by about 1.8 seconds from Mark Jackson. Then Tom Snow showing 5th at half distance. Michael Brampton in 6th. Brad Hughes showing 7th. And Bailey Harker and Craig Chapek, the newcomers, 8th and 9th. Damien Crook has worked his way up to 10th. He's overhauled Kieran Brockie, so he's got himself into the top 10. Then Dan Sale is in 12th, and he's got past Roddy Taylor. So Dan Sale now up to 12th in the race, but obviously the sole 250 out there, so leading.
No, he's on his big machine in this one.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
It's the lightweight.
He's on the Yamaha.
Yeah, he's on the Yamaha, so he's up to 12th. Then Roddy Taylor in 13th, Daniel Pearson 14th, Aaron Hands rounding out the top 15.
I think Dan Sale had to change an engine, or change a whole bike actually. They had some problems with their bike yesterday and had to get another bike shipped in, or maybe it was early practice on Monday or Tuesday. But it's a fresh bike that Dan Sale's riding this today.
Booth now is close enough to be taking a look at Cranston as they come down through Great Meadow, and in behind that, Jackson has closed in on Marsh as well in the battle for third. So the newcomer holds it at the moment, but Mark Jackson is right with him.
Yep, still goes on here at the front.
Completion of lap 4, and Booth just needs to try and work his way towards Cranston if he can.
Oh, he's got a decent slipstream to get behind, you have to say. Paul, as I say, is a slightly wider than normal.
He is using that slipstream, Dennis Booth. He just close in again as they come over the start-finish line. It's 0.4 of a second officially that Cranston leads Booth by, but they are almost right together. Booth's just got to keep working everywhere he can just to try and get that little bit closer, a little bit closer. He's got just shy of 2 laps to do it. They're out on the penultimate lap, lap 5 of 6 on this JCK Limited Supersport 600 support race.
JCK, a great car dealership up in Coleraine, who look after me every year I go out to the northwest. Nice people.
Cranston from Booth, also a great building company out in Foxdale over here on the Isle of Man.
Oh, are they?
They might be this one. So yeah,
they could easily be. Same name, same name.
Same name, absolutely. So this battle for third then, it is still John Marsh, the newcomer, just holding on. Doing it well from Mark Jackson. Tom Snow now rounding us in 5th, then Michael Bampton in 6th, bike 18 there as they get away. So we're interested in the battle for the lead, where Booth is keeping Cranston honest, and then we've got this battle for the final podium spot as well, where Mark Jackson has a chance to have a podium, but John Marsh is occupying it at the moment, and it's what can he do over this final lap and a half, about 6 miles or so of racing to go. Cranston then has Booth for company, as he has been pretty much all race. He's about as close as he's been, probably. Just needs to keep working.
I'd have said so. So John Marsh, the newcomer, he's from Trawden. Where's Trawden?
We'll have to look that up for tomorrow.
Oh, it's not anywhere here.
Nope, not an Isle of Man rider. We will find out for tomorrow where Trawden is. Absolutely, we'll know that for then.
Oh, this is close now. Here we are, a proper slipstream city right now.
Took a little bit of a look there, did Booth, as they come down through Great Meadow on this penultimate lap. It's going to be fireworks, I think, on the final lap, because Booth looks like he wants to have a go at this. Marsh, and in fact, as they come into Castletown Corner, Marsh continues to hold on to third, but Booth just taking a different line to Cranston through Castletown Corner. Is it going to give him the advantage on the run out of the corner? That's what matters.
Yeah, it's very, very important. Most important corner for this long straight. Everything you can carry out of here will give you a benefit down this long straight. Wind slightly behind you. It's a bit crosswindy, but slightly behind you.
They go then on to lap 6 of 6, and he's right with him now. He's not close enough to do anything about it at Ballachagan, but he just needs to keep working closer to give himself the chance later in the lap, the final lap. It was a 2:31.3 by Dennis Booth, the fastest lap of the race on that last circuit. So that has given him the chance to close in on Cranston. Cranston will know he's there as well for sure, and will have to ride his own line in his own race and just keep with it. We wait to see what's happening in the battle behind for third as well between Marsh and Jackson. And then we've got Tom Snow. He's out onto his final lap in 5th. Michael Bampton in 6th. Bradley Hughes in 7th. Craig Shapek is now up to 8th, the newcomer. From Damien Crook, who's also up to 9th. It's Bailey Hunter, who's dropped down to 10th as they come into Ballabeg Hairpin.
Still not quite close enough. He needs another bike or two's length to get close enough to get that slipstream. I guess his best chance is going to be heading back down through Great Meadows into Stadium Bends if he's going to use the slipstream.
It's Kawasaki versus Honda at the front. Here is Marsh on the Honda, holding on to that third spot from Jackson's Yamaha. So it's Honda versus Kawasaki at the front, Honda versus Yamaha in the battle for the final podium spot.
Does look like Cranston's got it.
Just got those couple of bike lengths, hasn't he? And he's riding around, so much experience to bring to this kind of situation where he just needs to know, ride your own race, ride your own lap.
Yellow flag out there, just a standard one. I guess there's a bike on the side of the road or something like that, possibly.
Yeah, maybe a retirement for somebody, but it's not affecting the race just at the moment as we wait to see the third and fourth guys. Well, we're going to go to Church Bend for the leaders. It is Cranston still leading.
He's pulled some out actually.
Yep.
Just a touch.
It's just whether Cranston can do anything on the run through Stadium and Castletown Corner. He doesn't look close enough, but he tried a different line last lap. See what he can do on this lap to just give him as he comes out the final corner. And we still see the battle for third. It looks like it's still Marsh holding on from Jackson.
Yep,
It is.
It is.
Fantastic ride for a newcomer to be that composed under the pressure of Jackson. So yeah, this JCK Limited 600B race. Cranston, Paul Cranston, the Dungannon man, 40 plus years road racing. He's going to rack up another win on the Southern 100 course. Great race between him and Dennis Booth. Dennis Booth takes second. Fantastic race for them.
Really good for him. I mean, what a career of racing, spanning, what, 40 odd years.
Absolutely brilliant. We wait for the battle for third. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Our newcomer, John Marsh, fantastic. A newcomer on the podium at the Southern 100 as Mark Jackson completes in fourth place. Then Tom Snow takes the checkered flag in fifth. So too Michael Bampton to round out the top six. Fantastic.